Hey everybody, and welcome to Comics from the Future. I'm Andy.
I'm Matt.
We're here with Infinity Flux Comics out of Chattanooga, Tennessee, and this is the big show where we show you some of the biggest and best books that you can pre-order by this weekend. So head on over to infinityflux.net right now. You can start placing your pre-orders for these books. Your pre-orders are due Sunday by 6 o'clock, so you don't miss out on any of these awesome books when they release in a few weeks. This is another big show. A lot of really cool stuff.
Yeah, I think this is the biggest show of the year, just like sheer number of books and covers and everything.
Yeah, I mean, it could be I just kept adding stuff. I just
know,
got
right?
too excited.
I know.
Everything looks so good.
We got stuff on here from FOC next week and the week after.
A couple of years from now, I just threw it all on. But no, most of this stuff comes out
mid-April,
late April, beginning of May. So yeah, there's going to be some really, really cool stuff in here. So we're going to kick it off with our Prime Comic pre-orders.
We're going to start, once again, with Absolute Batman number 19. We talked about this last Wednesday. It got pushed back to this week, and now it's here, and now it's locked in. So if you did pre-order Absolute Batman last week, your order still counts. You're totally fine. If you didn't, you can pre-order it this weekend, because this is the first appearance of the Absolute version of Scarecrow. This is the start of a new story arc. We've got Nick Dragotta back on art, so this is, I don't want to say it's like, you know, the next official story, but it's like,
yeah,
the main, you know, main creative team is back, and they're telling a brand new story. So we know that Poison Ivy was released out of the Arkham facility and sicked on Batman, basically, and we saw that over the last couple issues. Well, now the Joker has decided to let Scarecrow out of the Arkham facility. He's got Batman in his sights, and he decides to get help from Dr. Jonathan Crane. And while Bruce Wayne tries to align himself with Barbara Gordon, and we saw a little bit more of her the last couple issues, there's more than one alliance formed in this issue. And it says new debuts, new villains, and a new arc starts here. So yeah, next big story arc. And you said just a minute ago it's going to be 7 issues, right?
This is going to be the biggest story arc that Absolute Batman has had yet, with 7 issues. I subscribe to Scott Snyder's Substack, and he just released a video like a couple of hours ago talking about the final FOC for this is coming up, and also giving a little bit behind the scenes about it. So yeah, it's going to be 7 issues, the longest story arc yet. Scott Snyder's never written Scarecrow before, which I thought was really interesting.
I never thought about that.
And that seems like for a pretty much a horror writer that
Yeah.
he's kind of known for. This is crazy. But the idea behind this Scarecrow is dread. You know, dread, the feeling of, you know, something's not happening now, but there's the potential of something happening. And this version of Scarecrow, he says, is this very, like, gentleman, like, you can see him right here. He said basically just walks out of the cornfields.
Yeah, they've released a couple of images from like the first page, and he's just strolling out of a cornfield, you know, just hands in pockets like this.
Very almost like, is he supernatural? So the questions in this are, is that really a mask or not? We don't know if that's a mask or is that actually his face. And I thought it was really interesting. He described the idea of the Scarecrow as, you know, crows are not afraid of humans, but scarecrows scare them because they don't know what it is. And that is the idea behind Scarecrow. You don't know what he is. Is he a man? Is he a monster? Is he evil? Is he something else entirely?
Okay.
I think that's going to be really interesting. So there is a lot of really awesome stuff that's coming out about this. Plus, Deathstroke. That's going to be really big.
Yeah.
We saw him tease just briefly, or Slade.
Yeah, we've seen Slade Wilson a couple of times, extremely briefly, I think twice. But we've never really seen him armored up like this. He's got some big old arms, so I don't really... Oh, he's got one big arm and then a regular.
And he's missing his leg, so he has like
I didn't even notice this down here. Yeah, okay. Oh, he's got both of them.
Yeah.
I did not notice that until just now.
So... this is going to be awesome.
More Court of Owls right down here. Gordon.
Yeah, Scott Snyder also said this is maybe one of the biggest, like, kind of setting up the future of Absolute Batman. I mean, you've got Joker on there with the Robin
armor. Yeah, what's that on his chest? Well, and you know, number 20, they've teased the cover for that, and supposedly 20, we are going to meet the Robins... plural.
Yeah.
We don't know anything about it yet. We don't know if it's, you know, oh, is it going to be Dick Grayson, Jason Todd? Like, I think it's going to be something wildly different, but we just don't have that information yet. But yeah, this story arc is going to be bonkers, and it starts in this issue. So yeah, definitely, please pre-order, because we will sell out of this. We
Yeah,
always
this one
sell
will
out of
sell
everything.
out.
Yeah.
I feel like this one will kind of be like the Joker issue,
Yeah.
where it's like it's the first appearance of a villain. You know, two villains here, especially with Deathstroke. Like this is going to be a key issue.
What's that in the background of?
I couldn't tell if that was Joker, the monster version, but it does look like he's got
Looks like
bat ears.
Yeah, that looks like we're talking about that weird thing right above Batman's head.
You can see the eyes.
It's like a demon version of Batman. What is that?
I mean, there's going to be a lot in this. It's not just Scarecrow. There is more to this story than just that.
This is gonna, like you said, the biggest story arc yet. Yeah, right here. All right, so this is the A cover by Nick Dragotta. There is a Ben Oliver cover. There's a Nick Dragotta cover. There is a Liam Sharp cover. And then, okay, so that was it for number 19. But we also have the third printing of the Absolute Batman Annual that came out late last year, right? Mm-hmm. This is the Daniel Warren Johnson cover. We have a Nick Dragotta foil variant for this, and then there is a Daniel Warren Johnson cover. This is all new. Like I don't think that's like a panel out of.
Yeah, I don't remember if that's a panel or not. I don't think so.
It is. I might be
wrong.
It
recolored with that yellow background if it was.
So yeah, if you missed the Absolute Batman Annual the first time around or the second time around, the third printing is here now. Now, real quick, as of this recording at about 6:20 on Friday evening, these are on the website, but when you click it, it says product not available. So we've already notified the proper authorities, basically, and so we're going to try to get that worked out. So hopefully by the time you see this video, or maybe by the time, this weekend or sometime, they will be active. But we have already, we noticed it already, and we've already sent the appropriate communication out to get it fixed.
Yeah, we do these videos like pretty much as they're putting some of these up.
Right.
So we could have caught them in the middle of the process. And that's just a note for any Friday we're doing this. If you are going through, you're following along, you're pre-ordering stuff, and you notice something not there, something inactive, make a note of that, come back maybe on a Saturday and check on it, because it's kind of a slow, like a rolling launch on these.
And if you really are having trouble, send us an email at info@infinityflux.net. If it still isn't there and you really want it, just send us an email and we'll get it taken care of for you.
Absolutely. Yep. So moving on, Marvel has a new, really interesting sounding one. This is Civil War Unmasked #1. This is going to be, I believe, a 5-issue miniseries, and this is by Christos Gage and the art is by Edgar Salazar. This is a return, as you can see in the bottom corner. It's been 20 years since Civil War, and that's crazy because that's almost like the start of like this modern age of Marvel. Civil War was such a big kickoff and still has ramifications. It's still brought up in stories even now. But we're returning to that with this, which is going to be a miniseries, each issue spotlighting a different character during Civil War. But it's not just like, oh, we're rehashing the same things. This actually, at least for this first one, we're going to be looking at Iron Man. And some of the stories are going to be set before or during or even after Civil War, depending on. But in this one, an urgent mission from Bishop, which I don't know if Bishop showed up even in the background of Civil War before.
Yeah, I don't remember the X-Men's involvement.
Yeah, takes Tony Stark into the Days of Future Past timeline, where he changes everything. It changes everything he thought about the consequences of the Superhuman Registration Act. So that'll be interesting, because does it change his mind? It clearly can't change his mind the other way, because we know how this ends. So what does he see that maybe makes him double down on his views about it or whatever? So this first one, as you can see, is based on or centered around Iron Man, Tony Stark. But we are also getting a Spider-Man, a Goliath, a Tigra, and a Captain America story.
So it's basically 5 different one and done stories.
Exactly.
It's not one overarching thing.
Yeah, which I kind of like, especially because you're not going to reveal. It's not going to change the outcome of Civil War if they did a miniseries. So I like this, maybe looking at characters that didn't have as big of an impact, or ones like Spider-Man that had a very big impact on the thing, and addressing those.
Yeah, it's crazy that it's been 20 years, because when I first read this, I was pretty young, and I've barely aged since then. So it feels like it's only been like a year or two.
You have the same thing Captain America does.
That's right.
You've been around since the 40s. So we have our A cover here. We have an Akko foil variant. That's going to look really nice. We have a Paulo Rivera Magic the Gathering variant. So they've taken some of the cards recently, turned them into covers. I sneeze every video we
have a sneeze cover.
We have the Paulo Sequeira 5-part connecting variant. Pretty cool.
I guess it's just the bottom is going to be connecting.
No, he just keeps punching.
Yeah, it's a strip. Yeah, it's a comic strip. Yeah.
And we have a Rose Besh variant as well.
All right, we have a new 6-issue miniseries from Image. This is called Corpse Night. It's written by Michael Chavez, and the art is by Matthew Roberts and Rico Renzi. And this is this is like a fantasy, like medieval, setting set in a war-ravaged France. A young girl named Foy lives in relative peace with her father until tragedy strikes. As Foy struggles to fend for herself, she's granted a miracle. Well, and the tragedy is her father is killed. That's not a spoiler. That you can tell on the cover. So she's granted a miracle, though. Her father returns from the dead to protect her, and now they're going to embark on a sacred quest, confronting murders, wild animals, wandering armies, and black magic plaguing the countryside. As Foy comes face to face with the dark side of miracles and the secrets of the Corpse Night, she must question if the man by her side has always been a monster. So it sounds like her dad's going to come back and kind of, be her protector, but is that a good thing? It may not be. It may not end up being a good thing. Maybe this will make her realize something about her father that she never knew before. We have a preview copy of the first 2 issues of this. We haven't read them, but we flipped through them.
Yeah.
The artwork looks cool. I
like the setting.
Yeah.
And I love the design for the character. Yeah. It gives me very like a video game or something like that. Where he's very iconic looking.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is going to be a really neat one, I think. So this is our A cover. That's your interior artist right there, too. Yep. There's a Jay Lee cover. There is a Matthew Roberts die-cut helmet variant.
Yeah, I've seen this one. It has it in our PDF of it, and you see him unmasked underneath it.
Yeah.
And it's pretty creepy.
You can rip the cover off and wear it as a mask on your own face. There's a blank variant and a Stipin Morian I Hate Maryland team-up variant.
Yeah, that one's really fun. So I don't think I read it, but I did kind of slowly go through this one, and I think this is, I'm not making predictions about what the next hot book is, but I think this one has the potential of being really, really popular. It kind of has all the secret ingredients, great design, great art. You've got Rico Renzi working on it on colors. That is, I know Rico fairly well. That is your original colorist and kind of co-designer of Spider-Gwen. He's got a great color palette with the hot pinks and blues. It just always does really cool stuff with this. So all that being said, I think this is one not to sleep on.
Yeah.
If you are having to make some hard decisions, I think this one's going to be really, really cool. Well, next up, one that I already know is really, really cool because it's one of my favorite books by one of my favorite creative teams ever. This Invincible Universe Battle Beast number 8.
What if this issue's bad, though?
It won't be.
It's impossible.
Cosmically cannot be bad.
It is a mathematical impossibility.
Yeah, you keep running the numbers, you're like, it doesn't work.
Yeah, it does not compute.
So this one is Battle Beast versus the Colossus and Juggernaut, the brother and sister giant.
The X-Men.
Yeah, the giant X-Men men. No, it's these siblings that Battle Beast has taken on each of them individually, but now they're coming together. We saw that at the end of the previous issue where they arrived and they're like, let's go hunting together. It says Juggernaut and Colossus want to celebrate their family reunion by killing Battle Beast before he gets to kill them. Plus, what is the Viltrum Empire planning? And we know that's a bit of this as well. We've been checking back in with Thrag as he goes and looks for conquest. And that's kind of our story that's slowly being seeded going forward that I think is going to play a big part in this. We've actually seen preview pages that I think are from this one or the next issue when we were on a retailer call that deals with some of the Viltrumite stuff that's going to be really, really cool. Get ready for this to kind of go up even another level as we go through this second story arc of Battle Beast. So once again, don't miss out on it. Pre-order it. Plus, we got some great variant covers. We got our A cover here. We've got a Ryan Sook variant. And I've already pre-ordered this one. This is the Ryan Otley I Hate Fairyland team up.
Poor, what's her name?
Gert.
Yeah, Gert. She...
which is a recreation of what Conquest did to Eve, and everything. So yeah, already pre-ordered this one. This is great.
She'll be fine.
Yeah, she's fine.
So next up, we have another new book from Image. This is called Fireborn. I don't know if this is an ongoing or a miniseries, but this is written by Kurt Pyers and Franklin Jonas. The art is by Patrick Mulholland, and this is set in the world of Lost Fantasy. So we have that other series from Image called Lost Fantasy. This runs alongside that. So it's about this young man named Aaron Hilberg. He was just another rich kid, ghosting his responsibilities, hopping rooftops, and hating his billionaire father until a mysterious floating dragon egg bonds to him and ignites a hidden lineage of ancient magic inside his body. And now every violent outlaw, wizard, biker cultist, and supernatural warlord between New York City and the world beneath, which we've seen plenty of that over in the pages of Lost Fantasy, they're all hunting him, and they'll burn the world down to pry the egg from his corpse. So this sounds really cool. When I first saw this, I thought it was related to Rogue Sun,
Like
because of the way he looks and the fire and everything looks a lot like Rogue Sun. But yeah, so this is like a spin-off from the Lost Fantasy series. So if you're into that, which I think is, I'd love to get caught up on that. It's equal parts fantasy, but also like modern day, like murder mystery kind of thing. And there's the two different worlds. And yeah, this is going to run alongside all of that stuff.
I heard it's one of the things said it's almost like a dark version of How to Train Your Dragon.
Oh, okay.
I was like, that sounds really cool. Plus, it's a giant size first issue, so you're
Yeah.
gonna get a lot in this one.
And it's $4.99, but it is giant size. I don't know how many pages, but it looks like it's going to be oversized. There's a bunch of covers for this one. So this is from Patrick Mulholland. That's your interior artist. There's another Patrick Mulholland Invincible homage variant.
Yep.
There's another Patrick Mulholland Absolute homage variant. So definitely pre-order that one if you want it, because it probably won't stay around long. There's a Jay Lee foil variant, a blank sketch variant, a Tyler Kirkham variant. I like that one.
Yeah, it's cool.
A Tyler Kirkham black and white and blood full art
And
variant.
fire.
Yeah. There is another Jay Lee variant and a Patrick Mulholland I Hate Fairyland team up variant.
Yeah, this sounds like a cool mix of like dragons and that kind of stuff. I think it's heavily on the dragon side of it, which I think this is a kind of another cool #1 not to sleep on.
Yeah, it sounds like mostly fantasy, maybe a pinch of superhero stuff. Gives me vibes like a pinch of maybe the darkness as well.
Yeah.
And, yeah, just a nice mix of genres.
Well, next up we have a new Star Wars book. This is Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, Echoes of the Empire #1. So we have this Star Wars series, and there is a series of one-shots celebrating the anniversary of Rogue One coming out, but there's no ongoing Star Wars book right now. So it's good to grab up these if you want to get some Star Wars comics. So this is by Ethan Sachs, and the art is by Jethro Morales. New Secrets of the Galaxy Edge revealed. So this is kind of a tie-in with Galaxy's Edge in Disneyland and Disney World. It's set on Batuu, which is the area you're in. But the previous Galaxy's Edge series that was kind of right around launch of it was really, really good. So it's cool to come back to that. I think it's the same creative team as well. But this one is set during kind of the reign of the Empire. Luke Skywalker, Princess Leia, and Chewbacca head to Batuu in search of important intel and stumble upon a dangerous relic, one that puts them on a collision course with the Empire. Galaxy's Edge writer, Ethan Sachs, artist Jethro Morales, tell a new story inspired by the Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. So, yes, it's kind of like, it's just a tie-in with the theme park, but if the previous one is any indication, these are really good and a lot of fun, especially because they're not like galaxy altering things. They're fun adventure stories, and that's what I'm always looking for in a Star Wars book. So this is your A cover. We also have the EM Gist Mandalorian Grogu variant, or what I keep calling it is Mandalorian versus Groglet. The Eric Tiemann's concept art variant. And this one is the one I pre-ordered. This is the Alana Prince's You Darth Vader variant. Galaxy's Edge has been mostly sequel-related content. If you go to the park, it's Rey and it's Kylo and it's all them. But they are like shifting some of the focus to like Rebellion era characters. So you're gonna have more Darth Vader, Luke, Leia, those kind of characters as they kind of cycle through different generations. So that's kind of what this coincides with. But more Darth Vader stuff, always good.
Always a good thing, yeah. So next up, we have Batwoman #2. #1 came out this week, and it's great. So in this one, Batwoman engages the enemy, which so we've already read issue #2.
Yeah.
I liked it even better than #1, and I love #1. So when it says Batwoman engages the enemy, they're talking specifically about that group of characters that we don't really know, that sort of clandestine hoity-toity group of characters that have been watching her. They have people on the inside in the sanatorium that she's in. Well, and if you read the first issue, you saw the last page. She's basically coming at them, and they're in turn engaging her. And it's so she engages the enemy, drawing Master Slay and his acolytes onto the field. But can her father, Jacob Kane, reach her before the streets of Petalon, which is the city in Greece that she's in, becomes a kill zone? And so, with his, there's some good action in the first issue with, a flashback of Batwoman and her sister Beth, or I guess Alice. This whole big thing they went through. This issue has even more action because she does take on this guy named Master Slay and his goons, basically out in the streets of Greece.
I was about to say that's a lot of like street fight and cars and all of that.
And we do see her father, Jacob Kane, and he's on a motorcycle trying to get to her. So this cover is
it's a very action packed issue.
This cover, and I won't say how, but this cover, if you look at everything on this cover, it's very representative of this issue. And just like the first issue had a really sort of like jaw-dropping final page, this one does as well. This one does even more, I think. So this issue is awesome. I'm continuing to love this series, so they're doing a great job with this. This is our A cover by Danny. There is a Stepan Sajic cover, which is the one
I've already pre-ordered.
Yeah, I'm getting that one. There's a Jenny Frison cover and a Dustin Nguyen cover. Great issue. It's really good.
It is really good. And speaking of really good, Lobo #2, which we haven't read yet. We do have a preview copy. We just got in. I cannot wait to check it out.
Yeah, we haven't read it, but we did look at the first page, and it looks hilarious.
Yeah, they even do something that when they said like, I'm surprised DC didn't say they can't do something.
Yeah.
They kind of do one of those just on the first page. But we love #1. #1 came out this week, and it is so much fun with Scotty Young and Jorge Corona. Continues on here as the content industry leader. Do we have the name of that company?
It's Omni Plus Mega Corporation or something like that. Yeah.
They have acquired a series of bounty hunting businesses and exclusive rights to their contractors, likenesses, voices, and victims, while retaining full anonymity.
Anonymity?
It says
indemnity.
Indemnity.
Yeah,
that's a word I don't use. For any crimes committed thereby, Lobo will be the jewel in the company's crown, with the world famous multi-hyphenated main man set to star in an Infinity season reality series documenting his exploits. Fans can look forward to Lobo's interactions with Detective Comics' rich portfolio of characters and franchises such as Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman.
I forgot. That's the solicitation that's written like a press release.
Yeah, it's
and it sounds like they're doing basically Dog the Bounty Hunter, but with Lobo. And the company's name is Omni Mega Plus Entertainment Corporation. That's very generic, giant corporation.
Yeah, so #1 was great for this. I can't wait to check out #2 because #1 was kind of a setup, even though there was a lot of fun stuff in it. But we didn't really get into the story. Yeah. Now I want to see how can you put reins on Lobo? How can a company do that? Probably not well, and he's probably gonna definitely mess with their ratings and everything.
Yeah, because the story of this, at least of this first arc, is that Lobo will be working for this giant corporation, doing this weird reality show or whatever. But we only got to that place at the end of the first issue, so this is where it really is going to kick in.
I just feel like they're going to be like trying to censor him and stuff, and just will not.
Oh, that would be great. Yeah, if there's like cameras, if there's like cameras following and he says something and it censors him, and he's like, "Why are you doing that?" And he gets mad. Yeah. I don't know if that's what it is, but that'd be fun.
Yeah.
He's watching himself on the TV right there.
Yeah.
The Last Zarnian.
That might be what his bounty hunting show is called. So we've got our A cover right here. We have a Libra Mayho cover, which is really cool.
Lobot. That's a Star Wars character.
That's a Star Wars character. We have a Sweeney Boo variant and a Tyler Kirkham cover.
I like that one.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's great. That's probably the one I'll get. And we also have the trifecta, the hat trick from DC. We have Deathstroke the Terminator #2. We have a preview copy of this as well. We have not read it yet, but we did look at the first page as well. And it looks like this starts off right where the first issue
left
off.
In the middle of action.
With Deathstroke really, really mad. And I can only imagine where it goes from there. So in this one, we know that someone has taken everything from Deathstroke, and hell hath no fury like an assassin scorned. He's on the road to find the mysterious client who hired him. But it won't be easy because he's lost his money, he's lost his resources, his family, and his best friend and moral compass. We saw all of that happen in the first issue. And what happens, I love this. What happens when the world's most terrifying assassin has nothing left to lose? It's like the shackles are off, right? There's no telling what he'll do. So I cannot wait. This was my pick of the week this week. I like this one the best out of these first three, even though I loved all three of them, so can't wait for this one. So this is our A cover. There's a Dan Panosian cover, which is awesome. There is a Tyler Kirkham cover and a Gilliam March cover.
Well, next up, we have Dead Teenagers #2 of 5. This was kind of the big hit this week for the indie books. And we read it and thought it was a lot of fun. Continuing on here, for 5 friends being trapped in an infinite loop of murder on prom night in 97 was living hell. And it was bad, but it was also kind of funny because just crazy giant lizards and meteors and zombie outbreak and anything that could go wrong literally did.
And the kids were pretty numb to it at that point. They were just like, whatever's going to happen,
They're about to find out that being an adult in 2026 is much, much worse.
It is.
High school students JT and Ryder and Brandy have been catapulted through time into their adult bodies. Physically, they're now elder millennials with jobs and families. Psychologically, they're damaged teenagers with disposable income who are about to discover the consequences of making poor life choices. Even worse, not everyone thinks their new circumstances are an improvement over being ritualistically murdered every 24 hours. Does the never-ending prom night massacre hold the key to finding out how and why they were chosen to live out this supernatural torment? So a fun mystery setup. What kind of kicked all of this off? So continuing on here, make sure to pre-order this because #1 sold out immediately, and you'll want to grab #2.
Yeah, this is super relatable. I had my senior prom in 1997, and I want to go back. So even if it means getting eaten by a giant lizard every night.
So we've got our A cover here by Naomi Frank. We have a Kayla Valerio variant, a Kayla Yarsky variant, which they've been doing all these fun like homage to movies around that time. And if you miss out on the first one, they're doing a second printing of #1. So make sure you order that one because it's another one that will not stay around very long.
Well, next we have Darkness versus Angelus. So this is going to be a one-shot that runs alongside the current Darkness series. And this is so this has 3 different stories in it from Marc Silvestri, Matt Hawkins, and Ryan Cady. Those are your writers. And then Pat Boutine, Arif Prianto, and Steve Furcho, and Augustin Padilla. Those are your artists. And this is going to focus on the Angelus, which we saw. I mean, if you've read Darkness back in the 90s, you're familiar with this character. Or if you've been reading the current series, you've seen this character as well. This is going to focus on her. She's been alive for eons and has seen countless darkness bearers come and go. But who is the human behind this primordial force? And how did she become the unchecked supernatural power that she is today? 3 stories go into the past, the present, and the mind of the Angelus to give us a glimpse as she sizes up her foes and finds them wanting. So, this is, I guess this isn't really, I feel like this isn't going to be the big fight between the two of them, as has been, they've been teasing, queuing that up in the main series. This is more going to just give us her backstory, I guess. And I guess they didn't want to put that in the main book. All right, so this is the A cover. There's a Lyrics Lee cover, and a Pat Boutine I Hate Fairyland team-up cover.
Well, next up we have G.I. Joe #21. We had to bring this one up because Storm Shadow and Scarlet return. We were on a retailer call with Robert Kirkman and Joshua Williamson and the Energon team where they talked about this issue and some of the stuff to come in G.I. Joe and Transformers and Void Rivals and even Mask coming up. This is we say it every time we talk about this. It's only getting started.
Yeah.
It is still only getting started, but just get ready for the craziness that's coming with this.
That's the honest truth. We're 2 years into all of this stuff, and based on what we know is coming, this really is still just the beginning. It really is.
Yeah, I mean, Scarlet we haven't seen since the Scarlet miniseries
before G.I. Joe #1, yeah, which was like 20 months ago, right?
Yeah. Plus Storm Shadow, the Arashikage, the Arashikage and Cobra have met once before. Prepare for round 2. Will G.I. Joe be forced to put a stop to it? There is so much fun stuff coming in this with G.I. Joe and what part Night Force is playing in all of this, and Zartan and all of that. So this is going to be so cool with this issue and going forward. We saw some preview pages of this.
Oh, it's great.
So much action.
Yeah.
If you like your Storm Shadow swords fighting Cobra guys.
Yeah, this is definitely Storm Shadow heavy. You know, and I think they said this is a single issue.
Yeah.
Kind of fitting between the previous story arc and then what's to come, starting with issue number 22. This is kind of like fits in the middle.
Yeah, I just...
but I don't want to call it a filler issue because this is not... I mean, this is pertinent and it looks great and it's going to, come back eventually.
Yeah, Scarlet Storm Shadow would have a problem with you calling it a
right,
filler.
right, yeah.
But also, we'll talk about it as we get closer to the different Energon Universe books that they talked about. But if you thought you've seen everything from the Energon Universe... You've got another thing coming.
Yeah.
There is
some cool stuff coming.
Really cool stuff that, we'll cannot wait to talk about.
We'll get there, yeah.
So this is your A cover. We have a Joshua Cassara cover, which is so good.
That's the one I'm getting.
Yeah,
for
and
sure.
then we also have a Ben Oliver cover with Scarlet. And next up, we have Big Event Check-In. There's a couple of, I wouldn't say they're the biggest events. Some are lead-ins to events. Some are contained within their own series, but there is some big crossovers and stuff going on.
Yep. So we're going to start with Captain America #9, which is the continuation of, I don't remember the name of this story arc, but the story arc they're in the middle of right now, this is continuing that. And number 8 came out this week, and it's, continuing that as well. So after discovering how far Salvation's true Latveria insurgency is willing to go for power, Captain America goes rogue, throwing in with the Latverian liberators to take down Salvation before he can become the next Doctor Doom. So basically in Latveria right now, there are 3 different factions who are vying for control of Latveria now that Doom is gone. And the Latverian liberators, and then the other one, the Latverian liberators are like the good guys out of the 3, basically, and the other one is okay as well. It's the true Latveria insurgency led by Salvation. They're the ones that you really don't want to take over Latveria because this guy Salvation is trying to become the next Doctor Doom. So Captain America is going to try to shut him down, but Salvation is prepared for Steve's next attack, and his new ploy has heartbreaking consequences for the team. So I don't know what that means. Probably one of the Latverian liberators, maybe the leader. Maybe she'll get killed. I'm not sure. But this has been a really cool story. And it's going to, based on what we've seen from Armageddon, it feels like this story isn't going to go away anytime soon because General Ross is playing a big part. He wants Latveria for him. He wants the U.S. government to intervene. The government doesn't want to, so he's going to take matters into his own hands. And that's going to lead all the way into Armageddon. So this is
the previews book for that's coming out this week, which is for June. You've got Avengers Armageddon on the cover with Red Hulk.
Preview pages of that in here too.
Yeah, and it looks like almost ripped out of this book of the storyline and everything. So if you're excited about Marvel's next big event, this is kind of the place to follow that along with Wolverine Weapons of Armageddon, which issue number 2 of that comes out next week. So we're getting closer to the kind of big summer event for Marvel, which is going to be really cool.
Yeah, so this is our A cover. There's a Mark Bagley April Fool's Day variant. Captain America has a knife in his head and an arrow.
Because it's Deadpool in Captain America's clothes and Steve
I didn't even notice. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. There's a Phil Noto Ultimate Farewell variant and a Todd Knock Iconic variant with one of the new S.H.I.E.L.D. members. I do not remember his name.
I haven't learned their names yet, but they're cool. Well, next up we have Amazing Spider-Man number 27. And this is a big one because it's the final issue of the Death Spiral story. It's all wrapping up here. Is there a bookend to it?
I feel like there is something else, but I don't remember.
Yeah, it says conclusion of Death Spiral, and not a whole lot of information. Just will Spider-Man do the unthinkable? Probably. I don't know. he can do whatever he wants. But Carnage Spidey, what's up with that? You'll have to read it to find out. And then I'm interested for kind of what's coming next after Death Spiral because that all looks interesting.
Which I don't think this Spider-Man Carnage thing is going to be a long thing based on.
I think in the previous books,
right there,
we're getting into the countdout to issue 1000.
This is what they released a couple days ago.
Yeah, so there's some other storylines. Spider-Man's not the Carnage version in these.
Yeah.
But it'll be fun to see what happens at the end of Death Spiral. So we've got our A cover here. We've got a Mark Bagley classified Target variant, which have been like a character with a little character underneath them. We've got, I love this one. This is the Liber Mayho Amazing Visions variant. Kind of an homage a little bit to the J. Scott Campbell cover, at least how the room is decorated and everything. Plus, anytime Mary Jane's on a thing, I think it's awesome. We have the Ivan Coelho 9-part connecting variant. We have the David Nakayama color block white variant.
The Captain Universe version of Spider-Man.
I really liked that version. I think that's really cool.
I haven't seen him in 30 years, but...
That's a weird thing that's like... They've brought back so many different versions of Spider-Man, but they really haven't touched on the Captain Universe. And then there is also the David Messina Ultimate Farewell variant.
Well, next we have Superman Unlimited number 12. Number 11 came out this week, and it was very interesting with a couple of big different things that happen in here. So in this one, Tomorrow Man, who you see him in the corner box, and we met him. I don't want to say who it is. I don't know if it's obvious, but we met Tomorrow Man in issue number 11 this week. He has a shocking surprise for Lois Lane. Well, I guess we can figure out what that is. Oh, no, actually, well, yeah, so Tomorrow Man's surprise for Lois Lane is John Kent, and he's just a little boy. The cover right here, basically. It says the reign of the Superboys continues, and possibly the reign of a super monkey? Bippo, yeah, I guess, I don't know. So, so young John Kent is back for how long? We don't know.
Like, he's got the red eyes, but when he showed up in the previous issue, he just looked like happy young John Kent again. Who knows? But I'm here to watch this play out.
Yeah. So lots of stuff happening in number 11, and it's going to continue here. This is our A cover. There's a Gilliam March variant.
It's very like Brightburn or something.
That's not cool. There's a Karen S. Darbo variant. There's a Salvador LaRocca variant.
That one's really cool.
Yeah, and a Lucas Meyer Things to Come variant. And I like this one. I like how Tomorrow Man looks on that cover right there.
You're gonna get some Steel, some Superwoman.
You've got Mr. Tixes, I think is what his name was, and young John Kent. There's Bippo right there, I guess, and I like these covers. Oh, aren't these the guys from the first arc on the Kryptonite City?
Think so,
the Kryptonites, I think is what their names were. Lana Lang was on there.
Well, next up we have Superwoman.
Right.
More Essential Comics, starting off with Absolute Flash, and I'm really excited about this. The issue before this, number 13, came out this week, and this could be the best story arc yet, because we are getting into the Mirror Master, which if you read what was that in? Was that the Absolute Evil?
No, wasn't it the Free Comic Book Day?
Okay, yeah.
It was one where like the hand was busting through the glass and you saw like the green face.
And we know that the Absolute Mirror Master knows the regular universe Mirror Master or has communicated with him. So what's that all leading to? Trapped by the Mirror Master, Wally and Linda find themselves trapped within a twisted dimension made of mirrors, and that happened right at the end of the previous issue. Confronted with their past and haunted by a mysterious assailant, the Flash will need to run faster than ever. He has to escape this haunting realm. So yeah, that was a great issue, this last one. I love the art by Haining, and it's continuing on here. So this is your A cover by Nick Robles. We have a Steven Segovia variant, a Sean Isaacs variant, and a John Timms variant.
Let's see. We have Nightwing number 137. Number 136 came out this week as well. So, and in that, there was a big, massive pileup on the new highway running through Bloodhaven, and Nightwing felt responsible for it. And in this one, he's haunted by that deadly pileup. And he relentlessly hunts for clues in the ghost stories of Bloodhaven. When a deadly standoff besieges Bloodhaven Bridge, Dick Grayson might not be in the best state of mind to tackle it, but luckily, the world's greatest detective has come calling. So I guess Batman is going to guest star in this one. Yeah, so the next part of this new story, this is our A cover. There's a David Nakayama variant, a Martin Simmons variant, and a Dennis Cowan Things to Come variant. There's his Clara up there. Yeah, that's the girl he picked up in this issue from this week.
Yeah,
I don't know who those other people
are. Is that Batgirl in the background?
You mean down there?
Yeah,
I don't know. It may be.
Very interesting. Yeah. Well, next up, another one that just came out this week and is continuing on here is New Titans, freshly rebranded with issue 33. Now moving on to 34. And Trapped in an Illusion, and we saw that all in the last issue. Everything is not as it seems. As Titan's tower begins to fall apart at the seams, Nightwing's team is visited by heroes claiming to be the New Titans. What's real, what's an illusion, and what is behind all of this? So I thought this week's issue was really interesting, and I'm very skeptical about the heroes that burst in at the very end.
I don't think I'm as skeptical about it as you are. I think that's
You think
legit.
They're real?
Yeah, uh-huh.
How would they get together without...
You have to read to find out.
I have to read to find out. Why can't I just have the answers? Yeah. But we've got our A cover right here. We have an Ethan Young cover. A Stephen Byrne cover.
That's great.
And a Fico Ossio Things to Come variant, which with that very weird cyborg, which we saw a hint at maybe something's going on with Cyborg from the end of
DCKO. Yeah, he said launch the Heart of Cyborg protocol or something like that.
You've got what kind of
Red
looks
Devil?
like...
Is that Red Devil down there with somebody?
Yeah. Yeah, you've got a lot of weird stuff. Is that the island that the Titans were on for a little bit?
The mountain base?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
So there's a lot of weird stuff going on here, but I am very excited about it.
I like these variants. I think they're cool.
John Kent handing a Justice League Unlimited member card, maybe?
Yeah.
So yeah, very, very cool one here.
All right, so we haven't talked about Something Is Killing the Children in a long time, but here we have Fall of the House of Slaughter #1. I don't know how many issues this is.
I think this is just a one-shot.
Is it a one-shot? Okay. And in this one, so it's written by Tate Bromble. The art is by Adriano Turtolici. As the House of Slaughter's ailing old dragon enters his final days, Cecilia Slaughter and the other heads gather to determine his successor. Deadly ambitions begin to take shape as the House and the Order prepare for a new legacy to begin, and the conflict will no doubt be lethal. Can the House of Slaughter survive a new dragon coming into power? So I'm so far behind on Something's Killing the Children to the point where I just want to start from the beginning again and read all the way through. So I'm not caught up on the lore, but I am aware of the House of Slaughter and the different houses and things like that. And it sounds like the House of Slaughter is going to get a new leader in this, and then what repercussions will that have for the main book going forward? We'll have to wait and see. This is our A cover. There is a Werther Deladerre cover. There is a Chartier cover. There's a David. Is that David Mack?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then a Connolly cover. That's the A cover, but without the trade dress.
Yep. Well, next up, we have a new Hellboy one-shot, Hellboy in Love, Black Eyes. The Hellboy in Love stuff has been great. It's kind of that takes place during the time where Hellboy left the BPRD and kind of tried to stat out on his own, and he met someone and all of that. It's really nice and just fun horror mystery stories. So this is by Mike Mignola, of course, and Christopher Golden with the art by Alex Nieto. A cozy visit with retired BPRD agents Archie and Margaret takes a chilly turn when Hellboy and Anastasia investigate the local ghost whose once only legendary wails have been disturbing their quaint village with more and more urgency. So just another fun one and done Hellboy story. You can't go wrong with these. And just the one cover. So easy choice there.
Yep. This is Avatar: The Last Airbender, the Kyoshi Warriors #1. This is going to be a 3-issue miniseries. This is written by Brandon Hong and the artist by Bel Bessa. And this is going to bridge the gap between the first 2 animated show appearances of Suki and the Kyoshi Warriors. Suki and the Kyoshi Warriors leave their island home to join the war against the Fire Nation, but met with suspicion and resentment by the mainlanders, they struggle to prove their worth to the Earth Kingdom. But when that opportunity arises, will they be willing to compromise their values as Kyoshi warriors to embrace it? So all of that was foreign to me. I've never seen any Avatar. Well, I've seen like the first episode of The Last Airbender, but I hear it's really good. So
this is interesting too because Avatar has been in comics for a long time.
Yeah.
But it's mostly been graphic novels and then library editions. This might be the first time it's come out in single issues.
Okay.
So I thought that was really, really interesting. So if you've been reading the graphic novels and everything, maybe time to pick up some single issues of this.
This is the A cover, and there is a blank cover as well.
Well, next up we have Mumm-Ra The Everliving #1. This is really exciting. I love like Skeletor. I love Mumm-Ra. This is cool, and this is part of the Thundercats Silverhawks crossover. So, Mumm-Ra The Everliving #1 by Declan Shalvey and the artist by Rafael Lobosco. The secrets of Mumm-Ra revealed. Mumm-Ra the Everliving has been a sinister enigma to the Thundercats ever since they first set foot on Third Earth. Now, in the second chapter of Declan Shalvey's epic 15-part Thundercats X Silverhawks crossover event, the infamous Devil Priest's ancient and tortured history will finally be unveiled. It all begins in a pyramid, but not the sinister black fortress that haunts Lion-O's dreams. This is Earth during the reign of the pharaohs, and for one nameless slave, a chance discovery and a selfish act of cruelty will open a pathway to both freedom and power for a price. So, if you were planning on reading the big crossover event, it looks like this is tied in with that, but also kind of works as a backstory and origin for Mumm-Ra. So that's really cool as well. I guess I never really thought he was human and like from Earth. I kind of just thought he was like
I never thought about it.
Else. But yeah, this sounds really cool. So, of course, this is a Dynamite book, so we've got a whole bunch of covers. I didn't put them all on here, so check the website, infinityflux.net. You can see all the covers, incentives, and all that fun stuff. This is our A cover by Danny Earls. We have a Declan Shalvey variant. We have a John Amore variant. We have an Erica D'Urso variant. That one's really cool. We have an animation variant. And a blank sketch cover as well, where you can draw your own mummy.
Next up is G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero, Silent Missions, Zartan. So
that was good. I counted. That was 3
Yeah,
S's.
3 S's. Or I was gonna say Silent Missions.
Silent.
Yeah. So this is from Tom DeFalco and Pat Olive. And this one's all about Zartan. Zartan is trapped in his deadliest undercover mission yet, but for the Master of Disguise, outmaneuvering both Cobra and G.I. Joe is not a bad day's work. So, I'm sure you guys know, but these Silent Mission books are paying homage to the original G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero #21, the Silent Interlude book where there was no dialogue. We've had a bunch of these one-shots with some of the Joes, and now we're getting some with Cobra. So yeah, no dialogue in this one. But I like Zartan, and I'd like to see him in this.
This has to be Zartan, and he puts on a new disguise mask, but he forgot to cut a mouth hole.
That's right.
And so he's silent the entire time. Yeah. It's more of like muffled missions.
Yeah. So this is our A cover from Pat Olive. That's your interior artist, and there's a Jorge Fornes variant.
He always has the same mask, too, of a guy with a mustache.
Yeah.
That's like the one that always came with him. Well, next up, we have Super Creepshow #2 of 5. #1 of this came out. It was so much fun. I love, especially, this is comics. We're kind of already in the know of comic tropes and all that kind of thing. That the first one kind of played with the idea of Spider-Man and Flash is really fun. And it's kind of a messed up look at that. Well, this is continuing with a story by Jerry Duggan and a story by Marv Wolfman. So you got some classic here. Where do superpowers come from? Surely not there. Jerry Duggan and Scott. When Cristiano revealed the dark truth about the mastermind behind the superhero and the links he'll go to steal the spotlight. Then the iconic Marv Wolfman and Michelle Rubini asked the most important question of all: are vampires superheroes? There's an old Dracula comic that it's like a Golden Age Dracula book where Dracula is a superhero.
There was also Mark Miller did that nightclub series
Yeah.
where the teenagers were. I thought that was good.
Yeah, so this is really cool. We've got our A cover here by Pi Par, who is your new artist on Mask coming up, and this great Todd McFarlane homage cover. Although they needed to cut out that one part of the moon, like the original one, because it doesn't make a full circle behind the cape.
Oh, yeah.
It's a fun little thing if you look at that original cover. We also have a Scott Wayne Cristiano cover, so that is one of your artists on here. And we also have the Michelle Rubini and Leela Rowe variant, so that is your second story with the vampire.
That's an awesome cover.
That's really good.
That gives me vibes of American Vampire.
I was just thinking American Vampire, some kind of Raphael Albuquerque a little bit.
I had to look down to say, is that Albuquerque doing like some kind of? Yeah, that's great. This is Narco number 2. This is going to be a 5-issue series. The first issue came out last week, I believe. It was really good. So in this one, handcuffed and trapped in an interrogation room, Marcus becomes the prime suspect in a brutal murder that he's sure he witnessed. And that brutal murder is the murder of his neighbor. I believe her name was Jessica. Jess, I think her name was. And who he really had a crush on. And then now she's dead. The cops won't believe him, and his narcolepsy isn't helping. So clearing his name is only step 1. Step 2 is finding the real killer before the real killer finds him. So yeah, a cool book from Image, like nice murder mystery.
Is he surrounded by Pop-Tarts?
Maybe. I guess so.
Yeah.
Oh, I think he is. I think they mentioned that in the first issue, yeah. So this is our A cover. There is a Daniel Hilliard and Dave Stewart Hitchcock homage variant, and a Dan Hilliard I Hate Fairyland team-up variant.
Well, next up we have Tigress Island number 2. Number 1 came out of this last week?
Last week, I believe.
Last week. A lot of fun. Very interesting art style and everything, and kind of a 70s... campy B-movie feel. So we're continuing. This is going to be a 5-issue miniseries. An island prison full of lost women, a vindictive warden, and a slim chance to escape if they can work together. But not everyone shares the same vision. Our girls are going to have to fight their way out, and it's about to get real intense as they kind of have their breakout. I really like the first issue. I'm very interested to see where the story goes here. So we've got our A cover here. We have a Zawayuki variant, and we also have a Steve Manion variant, and there's also another black bag variant that you can pre-order that we can't show here.
This is End of Life number 3. Number 2 came out, I think it was this week. This is my favorite. This one is my favorite of the new wave of Vertigo books so far. In this one, Eddie has a big problem. The chicken-headed menagerie assassin, whose name I can't mention. They put it in the solicitation, but I probably shouldn't mention it here. The big something. That assassin finds his way to Pluto. There's a small town where Eddie is staying. But who could have given up Eddie's secret? Or is that assassin here for another purpose? But whatever the answer is, it's obviously all Eddie's fault, and now the whole town is in danger. And it gets worse. Deep within the confines of the abandoned Wrong Dog Park, Richard Smiley is working on a plan to take Eddie down and tighten his criminal grip on the town. And that's your, so this is on 2 fronts, right? This is Eddie dealing with like this big like group of assassins, but then now that this small town that he's in also has their own localized criminal organization as well, and he's running afoul of both of them. It's very much like Banshee, if you ever saw that TV series, which is one of my favorite shows. So yeah, I like this one a lot. Looking forward to this. This is our A cover. There's a David Talaski variant and a Gillum March variant.
Well, next up we have Cyclops, issue number 3, continuing this really fun mini-series. The Reavers are on a rampage now, sporting all the best cybernetic enhancements. The newest Reaver, Tearjerker. I like the new Reavers. I think they're pretty fun. Finally have the power to best Cyclops. Without the use of his visor, how will Cyclops fight back? That's kind of what the whole series is about, is Cyclops is on the back foot, not having his visor, pretty much blind out there working with the girl that the Reavers were hunting. So, yeah, continuing this one here.
I feel like if he gets too much in a pickle, he just says, okay, I'm going to open my eyes.
You asked for it.
If you're in the way, you're going to get vaporized.
So we've got our A cover here. We have an Alessandro Capuccio Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. variant.
Give me that story.
That seems,
That's
that
awesome.
seems
Yeah.
really cool if Cyclops worked for S.H.I.E.L.D.
Mm-hmm.
Give us a whole story where the heroes take over S.H.I.E.L.D. And so you've got all of them as S.H.I.E.L.D. members. And then we also have a Ben Harvey Cyclops variant with a very classic Cyclops.
You know, we've had so many stories of like X-Force is the Black Ops team that does the things that Cyclops won't do. Let Cyclops be on the Black Ops team for once, you know, let him be the guy.
I was about to say, yeah, you think that he wouldn't be cool with it. Wait till you see how dark he can get.
Oh, yeah. All right, so I'm so excited for this one. This is Marc Spector Moon Knight #3. This book is awesome. Now, the solicitation sounds weird, though, because it sounds like it's just sort of an overall telling of this story arc. Kidnapped and tortured by a resurgent and brutally bloodthirsty foe from his past, Moon Knight finds himself subjected to his greatest fears. I feel like that already happened in the first issue. Yeah, so I don't know. It says unleashed and unbound by terror. Brace yourself for an all-new vision of Moon Knight. So it doesn't really talk about what specifically is going on in, or maybe, I don't know, maybe that is what happens, but it sounds very similar to the first issue, so I'm not 100% sure. It doesn't matter. This series is awesome. Pre-order this one.
Great Ryan Stegman cover where he's making the moon.
Yep. There's an Alessandro Capuccio Ultimate Farewell variant.
With Black Panther.
Oh man, yeah. There's an Alessandro Capuccio variant, who was the artist on the start of this epic 5-year run of Moon Knight. So you get him for a Moon Knight cover, but it's not for Moon Knight. There's a David Nakayama color block variant as well. I wish he would go back to this suit, just like all white.
Yeah,
I really miss.
He's had the black mask for a long time now, and
I miss this.
Well, next up we have the Sentry #2. #1 of this came out this week. It was definitely a setup issue because it felt just very much like, yeah, that's the Sentry.
Like there he is. Okay,
that's what he does. Yep. You got the good side, you got the void, you got the two parts. What do you have? The facts of life. This one is Hulk versus Sentry. The crystalline plague is spreading. Did we see that in the first one?
I don't think so.
I don't remember that. And no one knows what it wants. Cities fall silent under frozen corpses. EMP storms rage across the globe, and the Hulk himself is infected. As chaos escalates, Sentry fights to keep the void at bay, but every battle drags him closer to the darkness inside. From a brutal showdown in the Siberian wilds to catastrophic strike against Kingpin's empire, we plunge deeper into a mystery that threatens the entire planet and the corrupted mind, its most powerful hero. Sounds like they put everything in issue 2 and not in issue 1. But that sounds really interesting, bringing the Hulk in there. So if you enjoy Sentry, definitely pick this one up. We've got our A cover here. We have an Alessandro Capuccio variant. He's getting around.
Yeah.
And we have a Giuseppe Camuncoli variant with Kingpin, which we saw him a bit in the first issue as well.
All right, we have Wade Wilson Deadpool #3, and in this one, Deadpool is down, and fate and the gangsters he's gotten wrapped up with keep kicking. He's smiling on the outside, but what tragic fate has befallen Deadpool? Witness the gut-wrenching horror Wade has endured, even as he walks into a deadly murder in Central Park that will change the course of his life.
This has been really fun.
Yeah, I'm not a Deadpool fan, but I have been enjoying these first 2 issues, so looking forward to this. This is our A cover. There's a Jeff Shaw Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. variant.
That's cool.
Very
Nick Fury.
Steranko, yeah, geez Louise.
And he's kind of, with the black and gray, looks like his X-Force suit.
And there's a Scott Hepburn variant.
Well, next up we have continuing stories. We're going to kick it off with the one that I know you've all been waiting for. That is Baby Garfield #2 of 4. And this just kicked off this week. I mean, #1 selling book across the globe, broken all records. Absolute Batman Who. It's Baby Garfield time. So this series has been doing like Baby Garfield's first blank. So the first issue had his first hairball, his first word. This one, why does Garfield hate Mondays? Baby Garfield's first Monday is told, and also Baby Garfield's first lasagna. So, you know, this is essentially a Baby Garfield or Garfield year 1. You can think about that.
Garfield Monday 1 or something like that.
Yeah. So don't miss out on this one. We've got our A cover here. We have a Chrissy Zulo variant. That's really cute. And we have a Garboska C cover, which is kind of a color block version of that.
We have A Quiet Place Storm Warning #2, and in this one, Fire Chief Fry's pleas went unheard in the last hour of Pearl, Iowa. But that was in the past, but in the present, His sister, Wingnut Mayor Fair, is finally heeding his warning as she desperately defends what's left of her town and Fry's daughter from the invading creatures. Fair wishes more than anything that she had listened to her brother when she had the chance, but now her brother is nowhere to be found. And that was interesting in the first issue. Half of it was set in the past where they were the town was arguing about what they needed to do to prevent these monsters from invading, and then it showed you the present where the monsters were there. So I guess whatever they came up with wasn't the right answer. So more here. This is our A cover, and there's a Declan Shalvey. Is that Declan Shalvey? I guess there's a Shalvey variant. Yeah.
And next up, we have the Exorcism at Buckingham Palace #2. One of this was really good. It was a big, thick book with a lot of story in it. It continues here as Theo Belmont is being dragged under by the pressures of assuming the throne, an escalating addiction, and the all-consuming darkness of the curse that has haunted his family for generations. It's kind of the overarching thing is this prince that never thought he would end up at the throne, finally on the throne. As his grip on reality loosens, blackout periods now taking place at regular intervals, Theo can't help but wonder if the political pressure is costing him his mind, just as it cost his mother hers. If he's going to escape his inner demons, he'll need to place his trust in a greater power, a power like the President of the United States of America. So we've got our A cover right here. We have a Damian Worm variant, very creepy, and a Damian Worm second printing of issue #1, in case you missed that.
This is Ripcord #3. #2 comes out next week, I believe. And in this one, the search for Dylan's sister Janelle continues as Dylan and Colby hit the road, of course, loaded up with weapons. They're hot on the trail. They're hot on the tail of a group of bikers who may have information regarding Janelle's whereabouts, but the bikers may not give up that information so easily. Have Dylan and Colby bitten off more than they can chew. So I don't think we've met Colby yet. That may happen in the second issue. But yeah, continuing this, it's not a murder mystery per se, but it's a woman searching for her lost sister.
Yeah, the first issue was really interesting, but also very minimal. It
didn't
get into a whole lot of the details, but I liked it.
Yeah, so next week will probably give us a lot more information about this. This is our A cover from Jorge Fornes, and there is a Neki cover.
Which is your interior artist.
Yes.
Well, next up, we have Hulk Smash Everything, #5. And what's this one about? Hulk Smash Finale. It's the last issue of this.
He smashes everything.
The last one, he pretty much did smash everything.
Oh, yeah.
There's not much left. So how is he going to do this? He's probably going to smash you right out of the book. But this has been really fun, so don't miss out on the finale of this series. We've got our A cover here, and we have a Luke Ross variant.
That looks great.
That's really cool.
And we have Wonder Woman #32. #31 came out this week. It's the start of a brand new story arc called The Wonder War. And in this one, after a disastrous attempt at stopping the matriarch, which we saw in issue #31 from this week, she has risen more powerful than ever. So now it's up to Trinity, who finds herself alone as her allies fall one by one, although they already fell in this week's issue. She's gonna find herself alone to stop her childhood companion, which of course is Matriarch. Can the daughter of Wonder Woman finally live up to the name and all the pressures that come with it? So the first issue the first part of this was pretty crazy. I'm looking forward to this. So this is our A cover. There's a David Nakayama variant. There is a Daikuran cover. There is, which he usually does Marvel covers, so it was cool to see him doing DC. There's a Daniel Sampere and Tom King variant. Yeah. Tom King doing
his sketches.
His artwork should be framed in a museum. There's a Jorge Fornes Things to Come variant. It
kind of looks like Things to Come in this story arc.
We see the John Kent and the Damian Wayne tombstones. Not sure who that is above them though, but then Matriarch, Wonder Woman, and Trinity. Not a lot of reveals there. And a Gerald Pereira April Drools Day variant with Crypto.
Well, next up, we got to check back in with Street Sharks because we're getting Street Sharks Annual #1 with one of my favorite characters, Moby Lick. So the Street Shark's best friend and trusted ally, Moby Lick, is in town on the heels of one of the Shark's worst enemies, evil businessman and big game poacher Malcolm Medusa III. and his trusted saboteur henchman Clamando, which is another character I really like. Clamando. I love the villains in Street Sharks. They've broken out of prison at the same time. A dinosaur was found alive in deep ocean trench. They're set on capturing the dinosaur and cloning it to seed the next generation of fossil fuels. They'll need a scientist to make it happen, and who better than their cellmate, Dr. Paradigm? The Street Sharks will need all the help they can get to stop all three of their greatest enemies. So yeah, more Street Sharks fun. I love this homage to Giant Size X-Men. And yeah, I love the Moby Lick figure because he's got his big, like, rough tongue that hangs out of his mouth. So we've got our A cover here by Murphy. We have a metal variant. We have a Beals variant. And a blank sketch cover. You can draw your own Moby Lick. And next up, we got a cover gallery, just some really cool covers to show off.
Starting with Infernal Hulk number 6. This is the David Parator variant. There's a Juan Ferreira Foreshadow variant, which apparently is classified. There's a Kai Azama Hellbuster armor.
That's
variant.
the armor you saw on that other cover,
That's
too.
right,
the Hellbuster.
Yeah. And Von Randall Ultimate Farewell variant.
Hulk was bad in that.
Yeah.
Next up, we have Sorcerer Supreme number 5. This is the Fan Yang variant. Very nice.
We've got Wolverine number 19. This is the Juan Frigeri Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. variant. Put him and Cyclops on S.H.I.E.L.D. together.
Is that a What If? That was
yeah.
class. Or,
that was a Rob Liefeld. Yeah, that's
yeah.
when he did it. That's one of his first Marvel comics, I think. There's a Stefano Caselli Ultimate Farewell variant. I like that version of Sabretooth. Yeah. And there's a Steven Segovia spoiler variant. So
I wonder if it's another foreshadow variant or something.
Steven Segovia actually just drew the word spoiler.
Good job.
Yeah.
Well, next up we have Catwoman. Of course, we got some great Catwoman covers. So we've got a Frank Cho cover. We have a Michael Walsh cover. I love the colors on that one. We have a Scott Forbes variant. A Manny Vincent Carbonilla Things to Come variant, which looks like a lot of things to come for Catwoman. Crazy pigeon-headed people.
Yeah.
And we have a Sowie April Drools Day cover as well.
And we have Ghost Pepper number 10. This is the Kendrick Kunka Lim variant. And I don't know if this is the last issue of this or not.
I don't know. I don't think the solicit said it, but it's really building up to a crescendo.
Yeah. I hope there's more.
Yeah. Speaking of Lost Fantasy, we talked about earlier, we have some really cool covers for it. They've been doing these great video game homage covers. So we have Lost Fantasy number 9. This is the Maxi Diallo Play variant. We have a Alex Diodo variant. We have a Cat. It makes me want to say Kate Blanchett. Yeah. It's Cat Blanchett variant. And there is a Vanessa Cardinelli I Hate Fairyland team up variant.
And then we have Malevolent number 3. This is the John Bivens and Philippe Sobrero Invincible team up variant with Alan the Alien.
I wonder if it's gonna be a wraparound because it's just it looks like there should be something else.
Yeah.
Like button up against it. We also have a this is Redcoat number 17, the Brian Hitch and Brad Anderson Invincible team up wraparound variant.
Yeah, it is a wraparound.
And this is crazy because you get all the characters. There's Dinosaurus right there. Duplicate. You got the Sequids attaching themselves to him. That's gonna be a fun one just to like pick apart and look at all the characters that are featured here.
We have Spawn Scorch number 50. This is the Todd McFarlane A cover, which looks fantastic.
Yeah, this is a big anniversary issue.
Yeah.
I think this is the first of the has Gunslinger hit 50 yet?
I'm not sure.
But when they had the big 300 issue of Spawn, and then they all had their
launched their new
launch ones. They're all now hitting issue 50.
And there is the Puppeteer Lee connecting variant.
And
hold on, I'll tell you.
You could probably tell who this is.
Yes, a Scotty Young connecting variant as well. And there is a blank sketch connecting variant.
It connects all the other
blank ones.
Every blank cover ever, it connects to those. Well, next up we have Vampirella Armageddon number 10. This is the Linsner variant. I thought this was really nice.
And this is Witchblade number 20. This is the Sveta Shubina variant. And there is a Giuseppe Cafaro I Hate Fairyland team-up variant.
Well, next up we got Bookshelf with some really cool collected editions to talk about. Kicking off with Spider-Man Noir. This is the miniseries that just wrapped up by Eric Larson, kind of reimagining Spider-Man Noir from the Spider-Verse storylines, like he comes back and all the stuff there, bringing Gwen Stacy. This was really good, very, very popular. So you can get the whole miniseries for $17.99.
Okay. So
this is interesting.
This is a strange one. So this is a book called Spider-Man Brand New Day. It's a trade paperback. It's going to be $9.99.
What's the size?
5.5 by 8.5. So it sounds like a smaller one, I think.
Yeah.
I think this is like a smaller, maybe like the size of their Premiere Collection books. Sounds like it's going to be bigger than a DC compact comic, but smaller than a regular trade. So we were trying to figure this out, and what I think it is, so this is it says that the fan favorite Brand New Day era was one of the most creative periods in Spidey's history, and this is the book that proves it. And I think this is a collection of stories that came out during that time.
This is a handpicked.
Yeah, the handpicked stories featured in this brand new edition highlight the scope and spirit of the era, from the heart-wrenching to the pulse-pounding to deeply human. So it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different stories in it. But I feel like these are not. I should have gone. I didn't have time to go back and look at all these. I feel like maybe these were like backup stories in the issues. But basically these are not new stories. I don't think. I think these are stories. It's basically a collection of stories from various periods in the Brand New Day era for Spider-Man, which started back in, what was it, the mid 2000s, I believe, early to mid 2000s. It was a little bit after Civil War, I think. So we've got stories from Zeb Wells and Chris Bocciolo, Bob Gale and Mike McCone. There's Mark Guggenheim and Barry Kitson, Dan Slott and Chris Bocciolo, Joe Kelly and Chris Bocciolo, Mark Waid and Marcos Martin. So yeah, there's a bunch of different stories from different creative teams taken from around the original Brand New Day era. And there's a Spider-Man movie called Brand New Day that's coming out soon. I don't know if you heard about it. Yeah, so I guess they just wanted to put a book together for you. So yeah, but a bunch of Spider-Man stories. It's all $9.99. The whole thing is just $9.99. So you can grab this if you want to check out some cool stories.
Well, next up we have the Dark Crisis Omnibus. This is really cool. So this was what 3 years ago?
2022 or 3.
So if you're not familiar with Dark Crisis, it was a really good event by Joshua Williamson and Daniel Sampere. When the Justice League falls to the great darkness, the next generation must rise to confront the threat that expands reality itself. Legacy heroes including Nightwing, John Kent, Wonder Girl, the Flash family step forward as the multiverse fractures, the villains unite, and Pariah's dark army pushes Earth to the brink. This collects pretty much all of it, I guess, all of it. So it collects Justice League from 2018, number 75.
Well, that's when that run started. Yeah, 2018.
Dark Crisis number 0, the Free Comic Book Day special edition. Dark Crisis 1 through 3. Dark Crisis on Infinite Earths 4 through 7, and so much more. The one shots like Green Arrow, Justice League, Batman, Warzone, Dark Army. All of those all collected in one book. I wouldn't mind revisiting this because I feel like when this ended, we shot like right into the next thing, and I didn't really get a chance to think about this one too much.
I do think this was 2022 because this was right before Dawn of DC.
Yeah.
Which was January 2023 because that's when the Superman series, Joshua Williamson Superman launched, and things have been fantastic ever since. So this was like right before that, I think. So
yeah. But you could get this whole thing here for $125. And it comes with a lot. I didn't mention
everything. There's a ton of it. Yeah,
this is a big one.
This is the Final Boss trade paperback volume 1. This is going to be $16.99, and it just collects the first 5 issues of the current Final Boss series.
And we also have our next DC Compact Edition with Superman Red Sun by Mark Miller and Dave Johnson. This is kind of one of those like classic ones you recommend to people.
Yep.
What if Superman crash landed in Russia instead of the U.S. and how that changes things. You've still got Batman in here. You've got Green Lantern. You've got Wonder Woman. This is kind of a modern classic Superman story that's a lot of fun.
And just real quick, people refer to this sometimes as Nazi Superman. That is not true.
No.
This takes place in the Soviet Union in the 50s, not Germany in the 30s. So it's completely different.
Yeah, they might need some history lessons.
That's right.
But you can get this whole thing for $9.99. Yeah. Just continuing the awesome DC Compact series.
I think there's an Absolute edition, or maybe like I think they've done it before, but like a reprint of the Absolute edition coming out soon too.
Yeah.
Which I want to get that.
And next up, we got a lot of cool new printings.
This is Absolute Batman number 15, the third printing. And we have the Absolute Batman 15, the third printing from cover from Lucio Perillo. And holy cow.
Yeah, that is...
I'm going to have to get that just to get it.
One of his abs is the size of his head. I mean, that's talent. We also have Absolute Wonder Woman Annual, number 1. This is the second printing of that, which was a fantastic issue.
Gorgeous issue.
Gorgeous art by Eloise. This is your A cover, and there's a Hayden Sherman variant that is a wraparound.
Is that going to be colored, or is it supposed to be black and white?
I think it's black and white because I think the original one was colored. Oh, okay. So it's probably going to be black and white.
This is the Hot Wheels. No, this is the World's Finest Comics number 195 facsimile edition.
They keep printing these, and I love them. They're just the mean Superman and mean Batman.
Yeah, this one I don't think there's like any major first appearances, but it's Batman's investigating a murder or something, and he loses his memory, and he thinks he's the murderer, and Superman just kind of has to play along. I really just I don't know how accurate the cover is, but I really want that story of, dig your own grave, Robin. Come on, Jimmy, grab a shovel.
I just love they've been printing these. The one with Superman where Aquaman is like dragging up on land, and he's like pouring water out. And
last week I think was the one he was shoving all the burgers in his mouth. Yeah, these are fun. Yeah. Okay, so that's the A cover. There's a blank cover and there's a foil version of it too, which I think is the same, right? Yeah.
Yep.
And the cool Hot Wheels advertisement.
Yeah, you get the classic ads with the Hot Wheels factory.
I don't know why these images are showing the back. Normally they don't. Yeah, it's not
it just goes left to right. Yeah. But I guess they want to show that they're facsimiles and they have the original ads.
Oh man, that's my childhood right there. Well, I guess I'm not that old. But...
That looks fun. Yeah, got those classic track pieces. Okay, and next up, another one that is a little wraparound thing is the Man of Steel facsimile for number 1. This is John Byrne's modern reinterpretation, kind of covering the history of Superman for the modern age that is still really referenced in a lot of stuff, and this is kind of the canon for Superman.
Yeah, this is originally from 1986. It follows the end of Crisis on Infinite Earths, which relaunched DC's entire universe, and this is a more scaled down Superman. He's not moving planets anymore and things like that.
It's kind of when we lost the Superman can do everything and has a new power every week.
We also lost Superboy in this.
Yeah.
He took out the Superboy lore. Of course, that's back now, but
yeah. But we've got the regular edition of that. We've got a blank sketch version to draw your own little Superman. And we have a foil edition as well.
Great era for DC Comics, though, like mid 80s into the early 90s. Oh, it's awesome. This is
they have to show the back of this.
Why do they do this? I don't know. So this is a Sirens Love Hurts number 1, the second print. We got the A cover here, which was the A cover for the first print. There's also a Derek Chu foil variant. This is number 1, the second print as well.
And we also have, speaking of Spider-Man Noir, the Spider-Man Noir number 1, the facsimile edition of that, which is your original Spider-Man Noir from back in the day. The character that later went on to be in Spider-Verse, the comic and the movie. And, at this time when this came out, it was Spider-Man Noir, but there's also X-Men Noir. And is there a Fantastic Four Noir? Or like Wolverine Noir or something.
Daredevil, they had a Daredevil Noir.
Yeah. This is when they were kind of doing their era of that. But the Spider-Man one is the one that really stuck around. And so if you've never read it and you want a facsimile edition, you can get one here.
We got Venom number 255. This is the second print. I was gonna say the second print variant. No, this is the second print of Venom 255, which with the same cover as the first print, right?
Yeah, but if you're trying to catch up on
Yeah.
Death Spiral, this is a good way to do it.
Death Spiral Part 3, yeah.
Yeah, we also have X-Men United #1, the second print of that. This was originally the foil cover, but now it's not foil. If you like the image but didn't want it all shiny.
And this is End of Life #1, the second print. This is the A cover, and there's a Rafa Sandoval variant of the second print of #1 as well.
And that's it
Yep.
for Comics from the Future. Thank you so much for watching. Head on over to infinityflux.net right now. Start placing your pre-orders for these books we just talked about right now. Your pre-orders are due Sunday by 6 o'clock. That way you don't miss out on any of these awesome books when they release in a few weeks to a month. Again, it's so important. Your pre-orders are like your vote. You're casting your vote. Which books you want to see, that you want to back,
support, and you want to, yeah.
So even if you think, this might be good, this might not, try out the first issue, go ahead and pre-order it. Those are the numbers that tell the publishers what you want. Those are kind of your votes for what you want to see more of, especially stuff like the Corpse Night, like the new Image #1s, or the new series like Lobo and Batwoman and Deathstroke you want to see more of. Your pre-order means so much to those creators, those writers, those artists, those editors, those companies. So make sure you get your pre-orders in time for these. Now make sure to join us on Monday when we'll be going over some of the biggest books coming out next week, and there is a lot, including Superman Spider-Man #1, the first of our two one-shots featuring Superman and Spider-Man. This one is from DC. We'll be going over that, plus its variants. We've got a couple of absolute books. We've got so much to talk about on that show. So make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss out on any of our comic content, and just so much more cool stuff coming up very, very soon. So until next time.
See ya.
Goodbye.